Johnny boy. I'm sorry
Mate,
I missed the last one. I was in Hong Kong.
I got so much crap from people. Where's Mahoney? Like, hey, he's got a personal event. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, man, it was last minute. I had to go to Hong Kong. I was there for 4 days, but it sounds really bad, this, what I'm going to say, but I really didn't like it. It's like I couldn't eat any of the food, mate. It's like I don't like all those soups and noodles and chopped chicken for breakfast. It was like I can't eat anything here. I want to go home, and it was one day, one night too long for me. But very interesting city, like the architecturally, the engineering feats. Like we were driving over bridges like 40 kilometers long, like just pylons in the middle of the ocean and then a flat top over. I mean, structurally, what they'd done in that place, I was absolutely astounded. Like buildings, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of buildings, all just sky rises, everywhere. But and very clean, no horrible diesel, all the clean fuels now. I mean, it makes such a difference. I remember growing up in going to London and cities like that, and it was just all diesel buses and horrible. But I'm so glad to be back, John, and I give thanks to God every day for where I live, which is peaceful and green and sunny. You live in California, so you're the same. We have a very similar climate where you are to
Mhm.
where I am. Plants and the
Yeah,
sun exposure. We're very blessed to have that on our faces every day. I love it.
praise God.
How have
Yeah,
you been, mate?
we're very blessed in the scheme of things. It's easy to complain about a lot of stuff. There's people going through things a lot worse than us, and it's
Oh
important for
yeah.
us to get that perspective, like you said, and have gratitude. So I'm grateful, but we're going to stay and help people cross the finish line because remember Kim Clement said, "When things seem at their worst, I'll free my people." I'm doing well, thanks. A little bombarded today, but that's okay. I'm going to let you talk first, and I'll share my news later. I know you're busy, but
I haven't really got much to talk about, John. On the geopolitical side, I've actually taken some time out. I've stepped back from it a bit because,
smart.
I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is weird is this Venezuela situation, which is bubbling. But I can see through that. It's a big scramble to get hold of the raw materials again, like Zimbabwe, like all these other
Right.
African countries. The big boss, the big Kahuna, he wants to take, all the oil and the platinum and the gold and the diamonds and whatever else they've got,
Yeah.
uranium. And it's again, you got China, Russia, and America all sort of saying, all right, let's go into Venezuela. So, I mean,
But let's
I don't
not
know.
forget Humberto Gonzalez is going to be the new successor for Venezuela when they pull out Maduro, which was all scripted, and that's great for the Bolivar.
It's true. And I do think this is scripted because, he's been doing some, like, come on, there's nobody that stupid. Well, mind you, there could be, He disappears and he pops up. Here I am, my fellow Venezuelans, estamos aquí. Sin problema, vamos a preparar por una gran batalla con los Estados Unidos. Los dictadores de Estados Unidos. I mean, I understand the Spanish. He's
That's pretty
like a
good.
puppet with a big mustache.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Tú quieres churros?
Sí. We will swap you churros and chocolate. No cocaína aquí. Aquí cocaína no. No, es un rumor. Es un rumor.
That's funny, man.
I've been to Venezuela a few times and it was that dangerous in Caracas. I walked into a
Mhm.
bar. Every single guy had a pistol down the back of his jeans. I walked in, all the guys on the bar, on the stools. I could see a pistol down the back of everyone's jeans. And I was with my friend who's from there. He said, "Don, no te preocupes, tranquilo, man. It's totally normal." I was like, "Is this the nicest bar you can take me to?" It's like a gunfight, the OK Corral in here soon.
Yeah, that's
So
gonna
I'm
that's
watching
gonna
that.
change though. You know that the corruption's gonna be fleeced out.
Look, Venezuela, the people are living in a repressive government
Yeah.
there. They can't carry on like that. You know what?
No.
I recently helped a lawyer get out of Venezuela and she moved to Madrid. And I helped her go through, get her papers to she can't get a law job, which first of all, she had to Spain have got this deal going on with Venezuela where they make it easier. They fast track them to get their social security number and the permissions. And she was saying there's like one line when you go to the gas station, there's one line to pay in local money, which is a huge line. And then there's another line to pay in US dollars where you get it straight away. It used to be 10 cents a gallon fuel there. It was that, they just like $10, you couldn't put it in your car. The guy smoking cigarettes. I remember. So these people need to be free. They need because
Yeah.
they've stripped the previous regime and this regime, because it is a regime, have stripped all the money. It's like going into a business, opening the till. When you come in, there's no money in the till. Where's the money gone from yesterday's takings? Ah, no, we had a bad day yesterday. All they're doing is lining their own pockets, transferring it to Switzerland or the Cayman Islands, probably because it's closer, and getting ready for when they do quit, so they've got a nice retirement of $500 million stashed away. But the people of Venezuela have been suffering. It's like Cuba. They've been suffering in that communistic dictatorship for way too long. So, you know what? Let's get them back into a lifestyle with freedom and make your own choices. And, you know, if you want to go to the supermarket and you want to buy the best steak, it's there. Because you go to the supermarket in Venezuela, nothing's there. They have a black market in tampons and diapers and medicines. They all
Yeah.
go to Colombia and buy, you know, what do you call it? The cold medication,
Mm-hmm.
the standard painkillers. You can't get them. You can't get them. Like medication, if you got sick children, you cannot get it in Venezuela because of these
Ridiculous.
bastards.
Yeah, there's so many good people there. They just need to be freed up, like a lot of places around the world. Funny you mentioned Zimbabwe. Yeah, but nothing's going on there. Nothing's ever going to
Oh
happen
no.
there. Right. These people who think they know, they don't know. They're gonna find out, David, in the near future that there's a lot more going on there than they ever realized.
We want God to start this and intervene now and release this tyrannical release on these people and all the poor people. Let's get this wealth distribution started. Let's get it started. I wish I could push the button
I
faster
know.
for people.
I
The only thing
agree.
we can do is say, listen, there's more and more news that's being leaked out every day. John, you send me all these links every day. You're amazing at doing these little puzzle pieces together. Mate, you're super talented at that. I can't
Well,
keep up with that. I'm like, okay, hang on. He sent me something about this like 4 days ago. So, you know, if it wasn't people like you that are constantly saying, listen, guys, we're getting close. We're getting close. Look what this means. Look what this means. So off you go, buddy. Let's share what you've got for us this week.
well, thank you for the update on Venezuela. I appreciate that, and thank you for all that you do. By the way, it isn't me; it's God and the team. I'm just the conduit, if you will. But it's an honor to be a part of. It's an honor to contribute something positive, to be a part of the bigger equation. Because, like you always said years ago, everybody has a piece. We all need to start working together to contribute, and that's the end of the name of the game here. Okay, let me run through this real quick, mate. Just give me about 5 minutes, everyone. I'll go through this little update here. I'm going to start small and build. I think I sent this to you, David, last week. This was sent to us by one of our team members once again. Yeah. Let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Zillow is reporting 53% of all the homes in the U.S. have lost value over the last 12 months. 2012 was the last year with a similar collapse, and the market crash has yet to happen. We've talked about this, David. I've shown you before, folks, with our team member, Mr. B, what he's seeing in the old Keynesian system from his Schwab experience of 28 years. It's looking like March is pretty likely time frame for the crash, which means when things seem at their worst, things have to happen before that. That's all I'm going to say. No dates and rates or any of that stuff, just giving you a purview. Okay, so let's go to the next thing here. In no particular order, you don't really care. The audience doesn't care. So, level of informality here. 72nd Secretary of State Rubio believes extraterrestrial technology was recovered and subsequently provided to private contractors with legacy reverse engineering programs. The great reveal is happening, David. You already know this, but
we've actually never talked about that with you. You being a man of the Bible and God, do you believe in extraterrestrials? Are you sort of open-minded to that? Most people say, nah.
Yeah, but the Bible has a lot of, you got to remember, it depends which Bible you're reading, right? The Ethiopian Bible has a lot more books like Enoch that are not revealed in some of the other versions like the NIV and King James and stuff. So if we think that we're the only intelligent life here, we're kidding ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with that.
From what I can see, there isn't a lot of that circulating. So I'm very open. Well, look, we know that they've lied to us about everything, right? So if we know that and they've told us, oh, nothing to see here at Area 51, yeah, I know that there's alien life. That's not so much a spiritual religious thing. That's just practical,
Yeah, it's a common sense thing. Right. Well, that's
common
interesting.
Sense.
So,
yeah,
Marco Rubio believes in investigations, extraterrestrial. Yeah, that makes sense. I believe that too.
It's just part of the great reveal. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you said it a moment ago, things are being revealed, and this is one gigantic puzzle, and the pieces are going to come out over a time period. That's why we look at the prophetic. That's why we look at the bigger picture. That's why we look at timelines, not dates and rates. Okay, here's something up your street, David. G20 information. African Development Bank groups grant full debt relief to Somalia, HIPC completion. So you're going to start seeing more discussion about JASARA, debt relief for all the nations. You're seeing a big push for that. I didn't have time to go through the article, but Iraq is now talking about digital implementation. We just sent one of our Secretary of State members who works for Rubio, the name escapes me, I'm sure somebody will know it, over there to Baghdad, I believe it was last week. So they're getting the world ready for Iraq to come back onto the international stage. I don't know if you watch X-22, David, but he's really
I do,
talking.
and I can. Yeah, I haven't seen it for a while. I know
Do
who
you
you
remember
mean.
did you see the video link I sent you a week and a half ago, or last week, I should say, about that minute and a half clip where he talked about gold, XRP, Iraq preparing for
Oh yes, I did
international
see that.
use?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
First
Yeah,
time I
that's
ever heard him
interesting.
in years say that. Really,
Yeah,
really
he was.
powerful.
I was surprised too because he was, sometimes he hints at things and say things that
Uh-huh.
then he was right on it. Yeah, that
But
was a good link.
why
And this
want?
one, John, what
Go
I'm
ahead.
spotting there is the relief has only been released by 17.68 million. So I would have thought
Yeah,
it'd been a lot more than that, but it's better than nothing. But again, when they release these things like this is a little,
it's a
it's
slow
just a
leak.
sweetener, isn't it? It's to put in your
Yeah,
coffee for
it's
you
an
to get used to.
appetizer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna. There's more will come out, but they got to do this thing the way they're going to do it. We may not like it. We're not in control of it, but it is happening. Don't say it's not happening because it is. It's just people get impatient. They're frustrated. I get it, but it is what it is, and we just got to power through. That's all there is to it.
And that's
Okay.
that's today as well, December 3rd.
Yeah, that's today. And this also came out a couple days ago. Mark Savaya, I love Masoud Barzani. This is a tribute to the old regime, if you will, if you want to call it that. Picture with signature on it. I will be on that picture with him because my dad's dream. He's number one, will always be number one. Who is Mark Savaya? He is an Iraqi-American businessman of Chaldean descent, founded Michigan Cannabis, Chain Leaf, and Bud, October of this year. Well, however you want to look at that. Trump appointed his special envoy as U.S. envoy to Iraq, leveraging his diaspora ties and business background to strengthen U.S.-Iraq relations. That makes sense, David, as to last year when Trump was running for quote-unquote optically president, he had to win Michigan as a swing state because he knew they had a very large Muslim population in certain populated areas over there, Dearborn and whatnot, right? And he was going to use that as a leveraging chip a year later or a year plus later for Iraq. And now you can kind of see as these puzzle pieces proliferate why it had to be the way it is. As a Kurdish woman, I'm hopeful for Mark Zavaya's knowledge, understanding of the region, make him a more effective envoy than his predecessors, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let me just play this minute clip for y'all.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Kurt with Honorable Mark Savaya. My brother, I saw President pictures over there. You promised me something. I know you are closest friend to him.
I love Baba Masoud, and I have his picture right here with his signature on it, and I'm going to be with him in that picture because that's my dad's dream. That's my dad's dream. He loved Baba Masoud, number one, and he stay number one.
God bless you.
God bless
America.
Kurdistan.
God bless Kurdistan.
God bless Kurdistan. The best, the best, the best ever. Because I was a kid, I used to go there and eat apples from the tree and the chestnuts and everything good about the air. The air is different. The air is pure, clean. The best people. Love you, man.
Love you too. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Good luck. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy holiday to everyone, and happy, beautiful, wonderful year because of our President, Donald J. Trump.
So he just told you a lot there, David, in a condensed version. So he's tribute to the past because they're like honoring the old guard as they move forward. That's what we see, right?
Yeah.
He just told you a clue right there. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It tells you that we're kind of upon it.
Yeah, he didn't say because being of the Muslim faith, they wouldn't normally say Happy Christmas and Merry Christmas. They would just say Happy Holidays. But it shows you that they do have respect for all faiths, and he seems very focused on what his job now is, his mission. If President Trump has given him the green light to go and do this thing he's doing in Kurdistan, which is an extremely important part of the whole operation from this country. If you don't get that region governed properly, I mean, they're always fighting with each other. They're Kurdistan, and there's a lot of complicated fractions in Iraq of various different groups. So uniting all of it in the country is very important. So I like that. It's very good. Well,
absolutely. And it also tells you, I'm going to stress this again, Dave, because I want people to hear this once more. What I sent you, the X-22 article, that is so important. I hope people go to Telegram and listen to it. In the 8 years I've listened to Dave, I've never heard him say the dinar, and he said it right out front. And we think he's probably a white hat working with the Trump family, and they're telling him what to say.
Yeah, absolutely, of course he is. He's been there for too long. He went right through the dark days. He was always pro-Trump, right through all the Biden administration, and of course he's protected from him. Never mind Trump. He's protected from on high, I think, because
Absolutely.
his videos have been amazing. The forthcoming with truthful content in the days of darkness we went through between March 2020 and right up till recently, really, till last year. So yeah, he's definitely protected, and for him to mention it, as you say, specifically, that's a big hint. That's a big hint.
Agreed. Now, I'm going to just throw this randomly because I get a viewer on Rumble who keeps asking us the question, well, you always talk about the wealth of the wicked laid up for the righteous. Where is that biblically? Proverbs 13:22 is the verse that refers to that, sir, whoever wanted to know that. The sinner's wealth is laid up for the godly is another translation, NIV. So just want to get that out of the way. Show you another quick little thing here, David. On the G20 update, this was pretty good. Sister Judy put this. She's fabulous at putting pieces together. Let me tell you, she's one of our strongest team members. We have many. You can see this Department of State. United States is assumed 2026 president of G20. Best is yet to come. Effective December 1st, U.S. is assumed president G20. Under his leadership, we will return G20 to focusing on core mission of driving economic growth, prosperity. We usher in these much needed reforms. We will prioritize three core themes: unleashing economic prosperity, limiting regulatory burdens, taxes. You heard what he said the other day. Remember, I've been telling you, David, for a while, he baked the Fed into the Treasury in 2020. I showed you that, right?
Yeah.
You saw those documents. You're not a BS guy, so you would say, hey, this is rubbish or not. You saw that. Now he's appealing to the public, no more taxes and dividend checks. That's part of Nasara. That's part of the rollout. People are still saying, oh, I don't see it. He's telling you got to pay attention. Pay attention.
He just gave that big speech the other day talking about how much he's going to reduce taxes by and get rid of it. In another 2 years, nobody will be paying the IRS. They won't exist.
2 years. 2 years. Try months.
Well, I hope, but I don't think he'll be able to fade it out instantly. But people won't do it.
I think it'll be phased out next year.
Say, right, no more IRS. We're getting rid of them. So it'll be done a little bit slower than that, but ultimately, people will see the difference in the bank balance every April. That's what's important.
It is, but with all due respect, I'm going to push back a little bit on this and disagree with you.
I hope I'm wrong. Absolutely, John. I would love to see that. I just think it's going to shock people.
We got midterms next year, so he's got to get economic results right out of the gate in the first part of the year for the GDP growth to reflect. Because remember, the victory day is 4th of July. It's probably when he's going to reveal to the world about a constitutional republic, the gold standard, med beds publicly, all that kind of stuff. And, that's where, a lot of stuff will get revealed. But before that happens, a lot of economic stuff has to happen right in the first quarter. We're facing a crash right in the first quarter of the year, David. He's got to kill the old system and turn it around as quick as possible. So that's why we have to have this momentum.
He's got to do something about the housing market because, like you say, that economic crash coming, like what happened in 2012. I mean, the Wall Street gangsters, man. These are the real snakes in all of this. These vipers and snakes that infest in insidious activities on Wall Street, ripping people off and manipulating the system so the average guy loses. And you can't. The cost of living these days, it's just, and these guys lying in their pockets. So he has to step in. But this Nasara changeover, gold standard, it's going to get rid of all this. They're just printing money. They're just printing money. Give us some more money. I'll go down to that Federal Reserve and we'll print another couple of $1 billion. It's something like 140. What was it? 1,440 pallets of cash, they reckon. And each one of them had $100 billion on it or something.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Yeah.
I've got the numbers wrong, but it was an astronomical amount of cash printed that the pallets were put on and shipped out just for bribes and payments during the last two administrations, which have not been Trump, between Barack and Biden. The money they were paying and slipping to the Taliban were on hundreds of millions of dollars a year just to keep them happy. And then they gave them all the helicopters and equipment when they left. I mean, it's like a mind-blowing.
I know. Oh, it's complete corruption, and it's the lowest of the low scumbags. Nothing new under the sun, but their days are done. We have an interesting sort of reamalgamation of what we see happening on the Fed side. If you want to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go. What's happening?
What we think is going to happen at what we can see, because things are variable change, but what we can see is this. So he's going to make his announcement of the new Fed chair this month, most likely. We think it's going to be Kevin Hassett. The reason
Yeah.
is Kevin Hassett's a pro crypto, low interest rate guy. Trump has used people before in a temporary fashion, right? For a short period of time, then he gets them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll use this guy to do that agenda. You're going to see an interest rate cut, I think, next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, in the next Fed meeting. You'll see a rate cut. I don't know if it'll be a quarter or half a basis point, but it'll be enough to move the needle. They'll blow up the remaining. They're going to do QE. They're going to remove quantitative tightening, which means they're going to start printing. The printer, they'll turn the printing press back on. He's going to use the last bits of the Fed's usefulness, blow up the bubble like a kid blowing up a chewing bubble gum in a baseball game, and goes as far as he can before it pops, right? As a visual analogy.
Yeah.
And then early first quarter next year, when the market crashes, he'll then probably scooch him out, bring in Judy Shelton as an advisory role under the Treasury to bring back the gold standard. And she'll be the biggest advocate because she's the only one that's been talking about, and I showed this to you last time, long Treasury bonds.
When we talking about it, yeah.
50 and 100-year Treasury bonds. She's the only one talking about this innovative stuff, which is all constitutional, tying into the tariffs. Most people don't understand tariff collection is not part of the Fed corporation. He's funding the government right now with tariffs. That's why those SNAP benefits were coming back. That's what's being paid for is tariffs. It's no longer Fed because Fed is debt. Tariffs is collection from other monies outside the country.
Well, and it's generated more revenue than the other taxation system has. The revenue that he's brought in from the tariffs. I mean, all these naysayers say, "Oh, that'll never."
All these haters, they got nothing better to do.
They're silent and shut up, aren't they now? Because of the amount of money it's generated.
Well, their mouths will be real glued shut in the first quarter next year. I'll tell you what. Did people conveniently forget what we showed them, David? The OFAC list.
The what list?
Remember the OFAC list, the Office of Foreign Assets Control, the Treasury cop? I showed it to you.
They've forgotten that. Yeah, of course they
Hundreds of trillions of dollars globally have been seized over the years. And that list keeps matriculating and growing. That's all coming back here.
Yeah. All these overseas accounts that the money's all being filtered off into. Yeah, of course it needs to get back to the States. There's some great stuff happening. Great stuff happening.
It is. It's just not happening fast enough for people. You're caught between people's current reality and the microwave society that we've been brainwashed in today. Buy now, pay later. You know, they've been inculcating us with that mindset. I mean, I walked last night in my neighborhood, you know, like I always do. They put out the Christmas lights. I think I showed you. And I'm going, do these people, are they putting it on credit cards? Like, they're trying to satiate the pain a little bit. It's like a spiritual, you know, alcohol numbing, but it comes at a cost.
The Black Friday thing I think is getting less and less. You know, I don't see the same crowds. I'm not getting any of the video feeds of pushing and shoving and screaming and shouting and frantic buying. I think people are struggling, John. I think they're living from one paycheck to another paycheck most of the time because the cost of living's gone through the roof. And in every country, we're paying for all this other bullshit, wars and proxy wars and all these campaigns, you know.
Banker wars.
Yeah, exactly. It's Wall Street wars, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But you know, the same in Europe, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but more and more things are happening in the political front where people are pushing back. Have you seen what's been happening in Ireland now? Did you see that this week?
No, tell us.
So back in the 80s, I'll be really quick with this. We had the Irish Republican Army, which is a terrorist group called the IRA, and they wanted the Brits out of the north of Ireland because there's a country of Ireland in the north. There's a fictitious border there now, but it used to be a defined border up until the 90s. So now the people of Ireland are so sick of the sexual crimes and assaults going on from these undocumented men of military age that have been brought in deliberately and put in hotels that they've now gone back to the terrorist tactics of putting ski masks on and standing with the Irish flag. One guy sitting down reading out a statement, and basically they've said to the politicians of Ireland, they said, if you don't do what we want you to do as the people, we're going to come, drag you out of your house, and we're going to shoot you. We're going to shoot you. And that's what they used to do in the old days. And it's going to happen. I guarantee the politicians, because Ireland's such a small country, John, you can't hide. And they need an army of people to protect them. The way that the Irish mentality is, and I know exactly, and I'm telling you, this is going to happen. When I saw that video, I said, that is going to happen. It's going to kickstart all of this pushback from the political puppets that are in control and doing all this damage to our Christian-backed society by infiltrating with all this, because these are military-age men. And then in England, John, there's a group of guys, because all of these immigrants are being brought across the channel in these dinghies, in these floatable rubber boats. Where are they getting the boats from? Who's blind? Where? How can they still be selling them when they know it's such a massive problem? Who's selling them? So these group of English guys went to France and they found these dinghies conveniently deposited George Soros style on the beach, like the pallets of bricks during the riots in all these cities when Antifa were burning everything down in the States. So these black inflatable rubber rafts, military style boats, conveniently found on the beach. And these English guys have been going there with knives and slashing and cutting them and destroying them. And here's the trick. Here's the thing. If these English guys get caught destroying these boats, the criminal charge will be criminal damage to private property. Who's filing the charge? Who is the person that owns these boats? None of these corporations are going to come forward and say, hey, I left my boats here, and these English guys came to France, and they've slashed my boats with great big Rambo knives. There will be nobody that will come forward to say, oh, these are my boats. Nobody will claim them, because then it goes, well, what are you doing depositing a load of inflatable rafts on the beach, getting ready for all these immigrants to get in them and go halfway across the English Channel and be picked up by the Coast Guard and brought in? So there's weird things happening out there. America is changed because you've got a leader in power that is pro-Christian, he is pro-people, he is pro-America, he is pro-restoration, he is pro-gold back, he is pro-corruption cancelling.
Right.
And this is going to sweep across the rest of the world now, because if this situation goes on down in Venezuela, where he actually goes in there and stops this drug racket, because these drug dealers are a nightmare. And Mexico, your neighbor, this new woman that got in, has got some weird Italian name, hasn't she? A German name. She's just said, oh, no, there is no cartel activities aquí in Mexico. No, we don't know nothing about no cartel members here. Maybe you need to go to Colombia. There is nothing here in Mexico. She's absolutely corrupt and being bribed by them. So I'm excited about this wave of patriotism, of reclaiming the right way, instead of everybody just closing their eyes, closing their ears, and accepting it and going down the dark way, following the path of Satan and his demonic monsters that have led us into a life of corruption and darkness, where we're all living in servitude. It has to stop, John, and it's going to stop. I can see divine intervention coming at a breathtaking speed, and it's coming soon.
Man makes his plans, David, and God just laughs. You know? Where Proverbs 16:25 says, man may throw the dice, but the Lord determines how far they fall. So same analogy, but and I don't say this with any arrogance at all. I'm just being honest. You sort of prescribed to that earlier a moment ago. As America goes, because we created all the banker wars, well, the deep state. As we go, the rest of the world goes. So it has to. And Ireland, I've always thought it's been corrupt. And Spain, all these countries, but that's why people like Fox is like, Maduro, what communist country is he going to hide? Nowhere, because it's being cleaned out. Where's he going to go? Down the toilet where he belongs. And the other thing I want to encourage to people, David, is I know there's a lot of people struggling. I get it. I see it all the time. You see it. I pray about it, because I'm not in control of it, but God is. Man can do whatever he wants to do, but God's going to have the end result. And that's what we have to stay focused on, the bullseye. That's what we do our holy best efforts to, try to get to our respective audiences, right? But not preaching, just sharing from the heart, right? But, the people have to remember that there's a lot of people out there who are going to get this money, who have, kingdom funds, humanitarian, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter the title, that are going to be blessing the poor, the lonely, the hungry, the needy, the sick, the widows, the orphans, including myself. I have other projects about. That's the Lord's desire, per the late, great Kim Clement. So there's always an antidote built in. So I would just encourage people, as tough as your situation is, and it I undoubtedly is. I don't know anything about it. I'm not saying that. But there is going to be a solution. We're just humans. We can't make it go any faster. But when we get in that position, we're going to move quick to do everything we can.
I totally agree, John. We've got to stay a steady course. Keep the faith. Don't let your faith drop. It's important to stay in good connection, in good steed with God, I think, and that energy. It's the only thing that keeps us all going, I think, when the days are dark. But the storm always clears. The sun always comes out. What else you got before we wrap it up, buddy?
I'm done. I'm done, brother. I'm going to put short and sweet, because people bitch that we go on too long. So I'm like, we did it hard and fast for you.
I'm putting up a Christmas tree tonight. I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to go home and get the Christmas tree up. Nice. I love Christmas. My favorite time of the year.
It's Yeah, I mean, we just need to inject Jesus into it now, but not forget that. But other than that, it's a great time if we can just get that spirit back, and know that every day can be Christmas. That would be ideal. And that, we're working towards that. So, where can people find your work?
It's easy. You can go to mahoney.tv and you can get all the links. There's a couple of Rumble and BitChute there. And I've also got a new YouTube channel called
Right?
Talking with Mahoney.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'd
post all
watch
my
it.
videos there. This will be going up there in a couple of days.
Cool.
And you can find me there, John. And we'll be back in a month. We'll be
Yeah.
back in the new year with you, yeah?
Yep. And I'll do my usual bit with you. If you guys are looking for currencies, Dinar, Dong, Zim, don't forget Zim. People think nothing's happening there. They're going to find out that's not true. That's all I'll say about that. Not all information is the same. God doesn't reveal everything to everybody. He decides who gets what, not our control. Boulevard, we talked about. We'll put that link in the description. And quick question: do you like coffee, David?
Coffee. Yeah, I drink a couple of coffees a
Are
day.
you a big coffee guy?
Yeah.
No, I just, I wasn't a coffee guy until about 6 years ago before Convid. For some reason, if it's good, I'm really into it. Chris sent me this. I don't know if you can see it. Chris sent me this about 3
Is this
weeks.
the one that Nick's got as well?
Yeah, I think so. I believe, yes. Chris sent me this to try. And I said, well, I'm not going to talk about it until I try it. So I've been trying it. What's the point? We need to
good then. You're talking about it. Must be good.
Well, we're going to be product hawkers. What's the point of that? So, if I don't use it, I'm not going to talk about it. But I tried it. I got to tell you, I don't know exactly all the stuff that's in it, but it's some of the best I've ever had. Something about Arabica beans. I guess they're selected Arabica beans from the finest region. He's sending them to me overseas, so they must be, I don't, where he gets them, but anti-aging effects, a lot of proflavonoids. It's an easy, smooth drink. It's like you're a sophisticated guy, so you understand this. Have you ever had a Godiva dark hot chocolate? Where it's rich and smooth without any bitterness. That's the closest description I can give to people.
So it has that chocolate taste off it, does it?
Yeah, it's real rich. It's like almost buttery or something.
I'll get some then. I'd like to try that because I've seen Nick drinking. Now that you're talking about it, I want some.
Well, yeah, but it's really cool. It's gourmet coffee, so it's a little bit more than the store-bought stuff, but at least it's not moldy. It's not been sitting around for months. It's freshly ground. The other cool thing I found out about, I did some research on it to confirm it. Every cup you drink, a percentage of that, whatever the coffee costs, 60, 80 cents a cup, a percentage of that goes to organizations that help to reduce or eliminate human and sex trafficking. So it's actually it's a good coffee for a good cause. So
I like that. I'll reach out to Chris if it's good, and I can support that as well. That's a good cause.
Yeah, we'll leave that link below.
We'll see. Yeah, put the link below. We'll see you after Christmas. Have a great
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, brother. We appreciate you.